So this question looks like a mixture of a translate word problem, right? Because we have this word problem here. But then also we have the fact that all of our answer choices are graphs. So I'm going to say diagram, right? So whenever we have this setup, it's really important to translate what we're reading so that we can then match that information to the diagrams, or in this case, to the graphs that are provided in the answer choices. So the question says, Jake buys a bag of popcorn at a movie theater. He eats half of the popcorn during the 15 minutes of previews. Okay, so if I know I'm going to make a graph here, or I know that I'm going to use a graph to answer my question. So I'm going to make a graph in order to translate the information. So we know that at 0 minutes, and let's call this at 15 minutes, that the amount of popcorn that he eats cuts in half. I don't know how much popcorn he starts off with, but let's just say it's there. So by the time we get to the 15-minute mark, let's call this half of that amount. So we should have some graph that looks something like this, right? So that represents what I just read. The next sentence says after eating half of the popcorn, he stops eating for the next 30 minutes. So in terms of the popcorn, right down here at minute 45, right, an additional 30 minutes from 15, there should be the exact same amount of popcorn in the bag because he's not eating any more of it. The next sentence says, then he gradually eats the popcorn until he accidentally spills all of the remaining popcorn. Okay, so there's no timing on that. So he's gradually eating. So that's going down kind of gradually, and then boom, right? It just drops off because he spills it. So this vertical line here represents the spill, whereas this represents the gradual eating of it. All right, so the last sentence, the question part says, which of the following graphs could represent the situation? Well, because I was translating the question in graph form, because I recognize that all my answers are graphs, I immediately know that A is not right. Like, why is the amount of popcorn increasing here? That doesn't make any sense. B looks pretty good, right? This is the 15-minute mark, so that looks good. And then this would be the 45-minute mark, so that looks good. And then we have this gradual decrease, so that looks good. And then we have a drop off here. So I like B. Let's just try the rest of these, though. So C, no, there's never a point where he gets more popcorn, so C is gone. And D for the same reason, right? We're never like getting more popcorn, so D is gone. So choice B is the best answer. We can see that it matches what we drew here. And just keep that in mind. Whenever you have this scenario, why not translate what you're reading slowly into graph form? Because then finding the answer is very easy.